The feeling of excitement, nervousness grows slowly in the bottom of your stomach. It's the first date. You are not sure what the person you matched on the dating site would be like to have in front of you. The first date always has a blend of crazy outcomes, either good or bad. How will you know if your supposed to be a charming date is even worthy of your efforts and time? What if you don't like them in person or worse? What if they ghosted you after the first date? We all have been there and felt at least once in our lives, as that the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. 10 first date red flags. The first red flag is they don't know the difference between humor and insults. There is very thin line between humor and rudeness, but the distance to jump from one to another is quite huge. People who naturally have a good sense of humor don't confuse them with each other. There is no reason for your partner to step on someone just to appear funny on the first date. Pay close attention to their wordings. Is he or she making salty jokes about people around you? The staff of the restaurant you are in? The family with the small children laughing around? The couple sitting next to you? These remarks can quickly escalate into inappropriate behavior and show you the true colors of their characters. If they do possess such behavior, then you must certainly give a second thought about your date. Is that how they treat everyone in reality? The second flag is the conversation is about them all the time during that first date. Most of the people start blabbering about anything and everything out of nervousness on their first date. We can totally relate to that part, but sometimes your date is simply an attention seeker. The spotlight must be on them all the time. One time you are talking about yourself, and the next they have already turned the conversation towards their own past experience. Like how they have traveled around the country, or how they don't like cats, dog, or some food. It might not seem like a huge red flag in the beginning of dating. With the time, such behavior can be very annoying and not good for a healthy relationship. A good partner is first a listener, then a speaker. Talking about themselves is fine, but not letting you express your own thoughts is not. The third flag is they don't show much interest in your side of the conversation. If your date is not interested in your side of the conversation, then isn't it a straight connection to the fact that they don't have much interest in getting to know you? And if that's the case, what are you even doing there? It's a waste of time. This sign on your first date is a straight up bummer and a huge red flag in dating. The other issue that this point may give off is that your date is too immersed in themselves. Does he or she just want to talk about themselves? If yes, then what kind of relationship can you possibly have with them? Not a healthy one, I presume. Their phone is the third wheel on your first date. If your date is continuously staring at the screen of their phone or even just glancing at it frequently, it is a red flag in dating. When your date pays more attention to their phone than to you, they are either bored or least interested in the conversation which is taking place. The first date is meant to learn new things about each other, or if they are not interested in your thoughts or views, then everything else doesn't really matter. Least you should expect from your date is to give their utmost attention to you or your first date or meetup. While there are some exceptions in this case, if they aren't explaining their lack of attention towards you, is certainly a big turn off. They look towards the right direction more than necessary while talking to you. Many psychologists also believe that people looking at their right again and again are more likely to be lying about something. Some people get nervous on their first date and prefer not to look directly at your face or into your eyes. These people might divert their sight towards left or right, but if they are looking towards right direction more than necessary, then it might be a warning sign. They talk down on you in the first date itself. It's a huge red flag. And it's the sixth one. If your partner is talking down on you in any possible way, that too on the first date, then you must quickly wave him or her a goodbye. It is not really hard to be kind to someone, and if your date is not considering your feelings while speaking, do they really deserve a second chance? The answer should be a clear no. No. It's psychologically proven that the people who talk down on others have problems related to self esteem. They are usually insecure and have an underlying childhood problem which they never learned to deal with. You went on that first date to find a partner, someone with whom you can share your life with, not to apply for the job for an unpaid therapist. Please keep that in your mind. The seventh red flag is they talk about or criticize their ex a lot. Yes, it's not a good thing. If your date is bringing up their ex on the first date, then the reason is simple and clear. He or she is still not over their ex. It is not an easy task to forget about or get over your ex. And as crazy as it may sound, sometimes people tend to start dating for that same reason. Maybe someone new would help me to forget the old one. Not really. Your date might just be one of those people. And trust me, you don't want to be someone's rebound. The other thing is if your date is heavily criticizing their ex, calling them with derogatory names, hating them in general, then there is a chance of your date being a narcissistic. That is the biggest red flag in the dating world itself. The eighth red flag would be they put you in a cornered position. Your first date must not in any ways make you feel like you are being trapped or uncomfortable. Sometimes, even if you are completely uninterested in a person, you should remain respectful while seeing through the whole date with complete honesty. But you must also understand if your date is playing the victim card, making you go through a guilt trip, or showing any other signs of toxic behavior. If any of such characteristics is shown in their personality, then you should run as fast as possible. They have no future goal. Yes, this is the ninth flag. Let me explain you why. There is nothing wrong with having no specific future goals, but if you are someone who has a set of pre planned goals in life, then your partner must be someone whose plans inclined with your goals. If you are looking for a long term relationship but your date doesn't even know what they are supposed to do in the next 4 or 5 months, then what future can you possibly see with them? The other point to consider here is that there is a very slight possibility of someone with no future goals to look for something serious. Yes, if you are someone who is looking for a long term relationship, then you should definitely clear this hurdle out on the first date itself. It is better to be upfront than to waste your time and energy on something that is not going to work in your favor. The tenth and the last red flag is the first date is moving too fast. Yes, the pace is very important to consider in a relationship, just like everything else. If your first date is moving too fast, you may not consider the pace, given you are having a great time with them. If everything seems to be going too fast, you must pay attention to their behavior. Quick moves, getting too personal, or exclusivity even before getting to know each other well may be a sign of a person with a controlling personality. This is a technique called love bombing, a strategy used by gaslighters or narcissists to quickly get you into a relationship. They might even seem perfect to you in the beginning, but if something is too good to be true, maybe it is not really the truth. Then, once you get into a relationship with them expecting unicorns and rainbows, their mask comes off and you get nothing but hardship with them. Bonus: trust your intuition. If something feels off about your first date, no matter if it's one of the above points or not, listen to your heart, excuse yourself, and go home. Your intuition tells everything. Your intuition never lies to you. I understand that many of us are concerned about coming off as rude, one, by leaving, but trust me, it's better to leave as soon as possible than get engulfed in an uncomfortable situation or potentially an unhealthy relationship. You must put your physical and mental well being above everything, which certainly includes politeness. If you like this content and if you want to see more and more related to this type of content, do subscribe to the channel and I will see you on the next video.